Hi there, this is David Levy from JewishBoston.com, and today I am really pleased that we are in the home of Marjorie Drucker from New England Soup Factory to learn a fantastic new Chanukah dish. So what are we making today?
Today we're making a throwback Jewish soup recipe. It's sweet and sour cabbage soup with flanken. So whenever I start to make a soup, I always start with a little bit of oil, and I'll tend to use kind of a plain tasting oil so that it doesn't take on too strong of a flavor for my cabbage soup. So I added just a little bit of canola oil. And to this, we're going to add some onions and some carrots and some cut celery. And this is what you call a mirepoix. This is how I would say 3/4 of the soups that we make at New England Soup Factory always start with the mirepoix. And the carrots and celery and onions will saute a little bit, and they'll kind of get a little bit of caramelization on them. So I cooked my short ribs, what we're calling, our flanken, for an hour and a half in a 350 oven. And what it does is it gives you these beautifully browned bones, and they look gorgeous, but they're not tender just yet. So we're going to take these bones and we're going to kind of just situate them. You'll have to find your biggest soup pot for this recipe because a lot of room is going to be taken up with these bones. But they'll really lend itself. It really makes it such a hearty, great meal. It's like a present in every bite, just like Chanukah. And I'm going to add my stock. So today we're using chicken stock. You could use beef stock if you had beef stock. But if you don't, not to worry, because these beef bones are going to give off a lot of flavor. So we're adding chicken stock, but now we also have to add some tomatoes. So we're going to add some crushed tomatoes. And some pureed tomato. And some tomato juice. And then what I like to do is I use a combination of, even though I've added brown sugar, I like to add a little maple syrup because after all, we're in New England, and it will still give that nice sweetness, but now we're gonna taste like some flavors from here too. It's a nice way to incorporate different tastes from different regions. And this is about 1/2 cup of lemon juice. So you have to kind of balance all that sweetness that we put in. So at this point, you're just going to let the soup cook, and we're gonna cover it and we're gonna let it cook for a good 2 hours. So our soup is actually about 9/10 of the way finished. It's exactly the texture and color I want it to be. It looks cooked. It looks like soup stock. The bones are really nice and tender and soft. I'm just gonna add a little bit of kosher salt, and I'm going to add some caraway seed, because I love caraway seed in cabbage soup. And then we're just gonna finish it off with a little freshly chopped dill.
I can't believe that I'm asking questions instead of just digging in, but I need to know, we have the soup in front of us, and what are your thoughts about all these other things that we're serving it with?
Well, this is like what you would have if you came to my house for a Hanukkah party. I would have this soup that we just made. I would have freshly made potato pancakes, nice and crispy.
These are the most gorgeous potato pancakes I've ever seen.
I used Yukon Gold potatoes, and they're beautiful yellow starchy potatoes, so they really lend themselves, and you have like silver dollar latkes, you know, just like the gelt, with some fresh applesauce. We have, I always say it isn't a party unless you have you know, a beautiful array of pickles, pickled tomatoes, half sour, garlic, dills, sweet pickles. So it's a fun meal that has lots of sour and salty and crunchy and meaty, and of course you can't have cabbage soup without having some rye bread to dunk your soup into.
That's fantastic. Well, let's taste it.
Okay. Now I've left the bones in. You can take the bones
I was
out.
just going to ask, like, what's the plan of attack here to get the best possible mouthful? Oh, I got a piece of it.
Did you get a piece
off,
of?
so that's perfect.
Okay, me too, me too. Beautiful. See how it just, we didn't even need a knife. Tastes like,
Oh my goodness.
it's like a brisket soup.
It is out of this world, unbelievable. Well, thank you so much for inviting us into your home and showing us how to do this, and happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah to you
I
too.
can't wait to make my own batch.
Happy Hanukkah, Boston.
Thanks.